advocates on behalf of girls and empowers them to speak out when their rights are being violated. The previously forgotten girl child is able to find support with sensitive issues such as rape, HIV, AIDS, forced marriage, premarital sex, and is also able to communicate effectively for her hopes and aspirations. Girl Child Network funds small grants to girls which allow them to finish school, move out of these workplaces and early marriages, and to start projects to support themselves eventually.
GCN takes a unique, preemptive, and proactive approach rather than a reactive one, thus acknowledging and bringing forth the inherent strength and power within every girl child. The organization has emerged out of the exploitive personal experiences undergone by girls and women around the world. The resulting experience, passion, and commitment make it possible to move seamlessly from the African village to the global village.
GCN is the lead organization in empowerment of girls worldwide. GCN empowers formerly exploited girls and furthers their potential to become future leaders. The specific objectives are 1. To identify and support girls who are at risk of or have survived gender-based violence throughout the world. 2. To advance girls' access to education, thereby encouraging the learning and growth of girls individually and collectively. And 3. To combat economic and social inequality so as to minimize gender-based violence. GCN envisions a world where girls everywhere are empowered and enjoy their basic rights.
Thank you, Nick and Priyanka. Now to move on to the Girl Child Network Club here at Sierra Canyon. Betty McConey truly is an inspiration behind the GCN clubs around the world. A prime example is our club here at Sierra Canyon. Girl Child Network at Sierra Canyon supports and promotes girls' rights, empowerment, and education by reaching out and improving the circumstances of girls who, wherever they are economically deprived, at risk of abuse, and again, subject to harmful cultural practices. We, as part of Girl Child Network USA, have a few goals of ourselves. Some of our goals this year, as it is our first year emerging as a club here at Sierra Canyon, are to fundraise, create awareness, start a network of high school chapters, bring the founder of Girl Child Network to Sierra Canyon, which we have accomplished today, and to eventually organize a trip to one of the empowerment villages in Africa. Now to bring up Alec Ginley to introduce Betty McConey and talk about the organization.
Wow, it's really nice to be back here. Walking down those halls, standing at this podium, it brings back some memories. Being in the student union brings back some memories. Forgive me if I look a little tired. I'm on Zimbabwean time. But looking around, I mean, I'm just so happy. And, you know, we put this event together as a last-minute thing, okay? And to see this many people come out, it's just truly, truly a testament to how active Sierra Canyon students are. I mean, the fact that we started the Free Club around 3 years ago, the founding members graduated, and that it still exists, and that these young men standing here and Jordan, you know, that's just incredible. That's just incredible that we still have this continuity. And it's also incredible that 2 years ago, when we brought Betty McConey, we didn't even realize it, but we started something that was born here at Sierra Canyon. We started the Girl Child Network USA. We started a partnership that will last for years to come between Sierra Canyon and the Girl Child Network USA. And we saw that for the first time this year, we have a Girl Child Network Club on campus, the first of its kind in Los Angeles. And it really is touching to see how many people really do care about this cause. And let me just say what my week has looked like. On Sunday, I attended the CNN Hero ceremony. Betty was a CNN Hero in 2009. That's when I first met her, when I was at that ceremony. I returned in 2012, and I come back just completely, just as inspired as I was before. Once again, I'm inspired. And to hear some of those stories, for example, Reza Jan, I don't know if any of you watched the CNN ceremony, but Reza Jan started an all-girls school in Afghanistan. When she started it in 2001, shortly after 9/11, the men of the village said, we'll let her start it, we'll let her build it, we'll let her put funding into it because we know it will fail and we'll make it an all-boys school. That's what they said to her. 11 years later, she's taking care of 400 girls. 400 girls go to that school. Girls can't get an education that easily in Afghanistan. Girls don't have access to that thing. And what's the most tragic thing about it, but also the most inspiring thing about it, is that these girls are poisoned. These girls often get acid thrown at their faces on their way to school. They struggle to get to school. They face a risk just because they seek an education. We heard of Malala, a 14-year-old girl, Afghanistani girl, who was shot in the head tragically because of what? Because she advocated for women's rights? Because at a young age she was smart enough to know that she is an equivalent to everyone else in this society? Now, that brings me to Girl Child Network USA. I took up this cause when I was 14 years old. I was watching CNN and I saw Betty's segment. And I just, as a 14-year-old, to hear that the virgin myth exists, to hear that the idea that relations with a virgin child will cure yourself of HIV/AIDS was horrific to me. And, we felt we needed to do something. So we were a small group at Sierra Canyon, and we were all boys. We had a little human rights club. And we walked around with a water jug, and we collected money one by one, collecting money from every single person, putting in change. Every single person at this school put in change in that jar. And I'm happy to say that in just a few weeks, we collected $700 in that jug. Now, 3 years later, I'm happy to say 3 years later, we have grown and we have had a massive influence here in the United States. Just yesterday, that $700 that we started from the jug translated to a $10,000 grant from the Annenberg Foundation that we were told we received yesterday. We've come a long way, and it's been a serious struggle. I can't tell you how difficult it is to start a nonprofit here in the United States. There's a lot of challenges, and in fact, part of my last week was I had the privilege to go to something called the Annenberg Foundation Alchemy Training. This training was meant for CNN heroes of this year and some past CNN heroes, who were invited to go through this training program where they are taught how to take their organization to the next level. I got to spend 3 days with 30 of the greatest people in this world, and I truly mean that, 30 of the greatest people in this world. And I can just go through a few of them. We saw a girl, an American, who started the American Widows Project. She, at a very young age, no more than 20, lost her husband in Iraq. And she just felt that there was no support. There was no support for women who are widowed because of war. And she started this organization to bring together these women who are widows and start a support group. Okay? So that's just one example of how amidst adversity, we find that we're inspired to overcome. And then, I'm just at a loss of words. I'm really just encouraged to see all of you here tonight. And I just want to say that the Girl Child Network USA is a growing organization. We have many opportunities. You all can be very, very creative with this, okay? Many of you here are students, and we have many, many needs. And we want a student-to-student relationship. We want to develop that. So please, be creative. Come up with ideas to help us. Come up with ideas to make a difference. And I just want to say, if I learned anything in these past 4 days, it's that you can never let circumstance limit your dream, your vision. And I truly did see that. And I saw that with Scott, who started Phoenix Multisport, who's a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. And he came out of it, and he looked at himself in the mirror one day and he said, I can't live like this. And he was very close to OD. He won. I think that's where the turning point was when he became very close to OD. And he started a gym where recovering alcoholics, recovering drug addicts can go and build self-esteem. It's not about building muscle. It's not about running. It's about building self-esteem. By modern day standards, he's a no one. He should have died and OD'd on drugs. But he came out of the circumstance and he overcame. And I'm happy to say that he's had over 3,000 people walk through the doors of Phoenix Multisport. And it truly is a testament of what can be done. Everyone at that podium, everyone at the podium at CNN Heroes started from nothing. They started from absolutely nothing, and they made their dreams come true, and they helped so many people in doing so. So I ask you here today, be creative, and never, ever, ever let your dreams be limited by circumstance. Be proud of what you believe in, and if you truly want to spearhead a cause, whatever cause it is, it doesn't have to be this cause. If you truly want to get involved in human rights, if you truly want to live in a world where people live at an equal status, then do it. Just do it. There's no questions asked, and there's nothing wrong with your vision. I can't tell you how many times I was just met with doubt. An 18-year-old boy who's advocating for girls. You know, when we were collecting in the jars with the jug, people were wondering if we were just keeping the money. Like, why are a bunch of boys fundraising for girls in Africa? And we beat that stereotype. And if you notice, look how many boys were standing up here talking about a girl's cause. And it shows you that caring about someone, caring about something is not limited to what you are. It can be beyond your community, it can be beyond your nationality, it can be beyond anything. So, without further ado, I'm happy to introduce my hero and the 2009 CNN hero, Betty McConey.